Hello everyone, my name is Prashant and welcome back to my YouTube channel. And this is my first video on this YouTube channel. And in this series of fundamentals of computer networking, I'm going to cover all the topics that are necessary to understand the computer networking. And if you see from any perspective of any IT engineer who is currently working in IT domain, whether he is from cyber security, whether it's from cloud and DevOps, whether he's working as a SRE or whether he's working as a developer or whether even he's working in a QA engineer. So computer networking is a kind of subject that is very foundational subject to all the IT peoples are currently working right now, and it is also one of the most fundamental subjects that everyone should have understanding about computer networking. Now this series will help you to create a foundational knowledge for our upcoming series of cloud and DevOps. So without wasting any time, let us start with computer networking series, and this will be a first video or a day one for the networking zero to hero series, and it will be a long journey because in this zero to hero series I am going to cover multiple concepts theoretically and practically from the computer networking subject. So on the day one, we'll be covering about some basic stuff related to networking, like what is a network, so how we can form a network, importance of NIC card, then we'll look how internet works, how the world is connected if you are sending some kind of data to your friend. So how that data is going to travel from your device to your friend device. And then we are also going to look into some networking devices like the working of router, working of switch, hub, and how they are going to work at layer 2 and layer 3 of OSI model. Later on, we are going to understand the IP addressing. That is one of the most crucial topic in the computer networking, where we'll understand IP addressing, structure of IP address and classes. Subnetting, we are going to learn how to break a big network into multiple smaller networks. Also, we are going to understand MAC addressing, like how a combination of IP address and a MAC address is going to work together whenever you want to send a data from source device to destination device. Later on, we'll be learning about port and protocols, like how with the help of protocols the communication is going to happen between multiple devices. We'll be discussing about TCP, UDP, DNS, STTP, SSL and TLS. So a bunch of things are there in this computer networking series. So you will definitely enjoy this series. Make sure to have a consistency during entire series, and on every alternate I will try to upload a new video of this networking series. And once we are done with the networking series, then we'll start with some different series like mastering the Kubernetes, Docker, whether it's a cloud computing series we can start with. But before learning cloud computing and DevOps, it is very crucial or it's very important to learn the networking. Without having understanding about computer networking, you won't be able to learn cloud computing and DevOps. The reason I am telling, because in my career as well, I made few mistakes before learning cloud. Before learning networking, I started directly learning cloud. Before learning networking, I started learning DevOps. So when I used to work on when I used to learn DevOps things or cloud things, I used to get very much doubts that how this subnetting stuff is going to work. So the problems that I have faced during my career, so you should not face that kind of problems. So I'm making sure that we'll be starting this series from very scratch. Even any non-IT person can do this networking series. So let us start without wasting any time, and this will be your zero to hero series kind of stuff up. We can give a name to it. So it's a zero to hero networking series, and definitely you guys are going to enjoy a lot in this networking series, because we are not just going to cover things theoretically, we are also going to cover all the things practically. So let us begin with the day one of the networking series, zero to hero networking series. So I hope I'm audible to everyone and you are able to see clearly. Okay, so as this is my first video on the YouTube, definitely I might speak in terms like I'm communicating with you. Okay, so I hope I'm audible to everyone, and let's start with the session. Okay, so as we are learning computer networking, it is very much important to understand what is a network. Okay, before learning computer networking, it is very much important to understand what is a network. So whenever you're going to hear about a network, the first thing that should come to your mind is network is nothing but when two or more than two devices are interconnected with each other in order to share the data is nothing but a network. So what is a network? When two or more than two devices are interconnected with each other, then we are going to call it as a network. जैसे कि in this diagram you can see there are bunch of devices that are interconnected with each other. In this diagram you can see there are bunch of devices that are interconnected with each other. So we can say this is a network. This is one kind of network. So when two or more than two devices are interconnected with each other, then we are going to call it as a network. Now in this diagram you can see that in this network there are all the networking devices are like laptop, but doesn't matter, a network can be formed between a mobile and a laptop. So for example, I am having one laptop and that laptop is connected with one mobile phone, so we can call it is one network. Okay, so your laptop, your smart TV in your home. Okay, so doesn't matter that all the devices within a network should be same. So there may be a possibility, or we can have multiple different devices in a network. It should not be a homogeneous. Okay, so it may be a homogeneous or it will not be, because doesn't matter that if there is a network, all the devices should be same. So in a network I can have one printer, I can have one computer, I can have one laptop, I can have one router. So a network is nothing but when two and more than two devices are interconnected with each other, then we are going to call it as a network. Okay, fine enough. Now why they are interconnected? Why the multiple devices are connected with each other? The reason they are connected with each other is because they wanted to share the data between them. So for example, I am having one network, I am drawing a network here. So I am having a device here. A device is connected to B device, B device is connected to C device, and A is also connected to C. So it is a one network. In this network I am having how many devices? 3 devices are there, and all of them are interconnected with each other. And why they are interconnected? They are interconnected because they wanted to share some data between them, like sharing files, sharing text messages, sharing some kind of videos. So I don't know, like any kind of data they can share between these devices. So we are going to form a network in order to share the data between multiple devices. And what is a network? Network is nothing but when two and more than two devices are interconnected with each other, then we are going to call it as a network. Then I don't know, it can be any kind of device, like it can be a laptop, it can be a mobile, it can be your TV, it can be a printer, any kind of device that are interconnected with each other in order to exchange the data, then we are going to call it as a network. And in this diagram you can see there are a bunch of laptops that are connected with each other in order to exchange the data, so we can definitely call it as a network. Then definitely we are going to call it as a network. Now how they are connected? Okay, whenever you are seeing a network, whenever you are going to see there are multiple devices that are interconnected with each other, so how they are connected? So there are two ways to connect. One will be using cables, that we are going to call it as a wired communication. Okay, or in networking terms we are going to call it as a guided communication. And another way of connecting multiple devices is using wireless. So you can connect through wireless technologies in the devices, or in an unguided like mode of communication. So in a network is connected in a such a way that it may connect with the help of cables, that we are going to call it as a wired network or a guided network. And if the network is connected wirelessly, then we are going to call it as a unguided. Okay, now in this diagram we'll discuss this diagram later on. Okay, and if you technically see a definition, a network is nothing but a collection of interconnected computing devices and systems that are linked together to share the data. Data is nothing but resources. Okay, and to communicate with each other. Now these devices can be a computer, servers, routers, switches, printers, and other hardware components. So if you want a technical definition of what is a network, a computer network, so it's a collection of interconnected computing devices that are linked together to share the resources, exchange data, and communicate with each other. Now, these devices can include numerous types of networking devices like computer, servers, routers, and switches, okay, and any other devices. Now, if you see multiple times, what is going to happen? We are going to use two terminologies in our day-to-day activity. So, multiple times you must have observed one of your friend is saying, okay, a network is very slow, and same friend sometimes is going to say internet is slow. Okay, so for example, you and your friends had gone to some picnic on a hill station, and you don't have enough internet connectivity, or you don't get a good network there. So your friends are going to say, I'm having very low network here. Okay, I'm not able to see any kind of network. And in the same group, some friends are going to say, I'm not able to use internet here. Internet connectivity is very slow. So you must see multiple times we are going to use network and internet word together. Sometimes we are going to say network is very slow. Sometimes we are going to say internet is very slow. So can I say network and internet is same thing? Or what is the difference between these two terminologies? It is very much important to understand the difference between network and internet. And in day-to-day activity, you are saying like, my internet pack is over, I need to recharge it again, and kind of stuff. So let us understand what is this internet. You guys are saying that I saw this video on internet. So have you seen a news on internet? So what is this internet? How this internet got evolved? From where did it came? So let us understand about internet, and we'll look into it how internet works. So it's very much important, because it is going to show you a very big picture how things are going to work across the countries and in the entire world. Okay, so in order to understand the internet, we'll have to go back in time. So let us go around 1950s. Okay, so so we'll go back in time and we'll understand how the internet was evolved. So what happened, that around 1950, if you see what happened around 1950, so there was a world war going between multiple countries. So we used to have United States, we used to have Russia, Germany. I'm not aware of the country names, but in 1950s there was a world war going between multiple countries. Okay, and as it's a long period ago, so during that time we didn't had that much of technology. Okay, we didn't have that much of technology, so we can like send some information on WhatsApp or internet. So we don't had enough capabilities or technology during that period of time. So around 1950s, what happened? There was a world war going between multiple organizations, multiple countries like United States, Russia, and XYZ countries. So what used to happen is, for example, consider this is a map of United States of America, and this is some different country. Okay, for example, X country. I'm going to give a name. Okay, this is X country. Now, during this world war, definitely multiple countries used to attack on multiple different countries. So this country, by using their army forces, used to attack on this United States of America. So United States of America had multiple military units. So I'm just going to create a story, so that with the help of this story you will be easily able to understand how the internet was evolved. So this is not the actual story, but by taking some meaningful examples, you can easily correlate with the concept of internet. So around 1950s, so there was a world war going between multiple countries, and countries used to attack on the enemy countries using their military forces and rest of the stuff. So during that time, what used to happen is, for example, so X country has attacked this military unit. So we had one military unit here, and X country, what they did is they attacked on this military unit. As they attacks, so there were some like militants what they used to do, they used to inform the other military units that we are under attack, please provide us a backup. Okay, please provide us a backup. But the problem they used to face is that the distance between this multiple location was very far. The distance between these multiple military units was very far. So if you want to convey a message from this military unit to this military unit, it was taking a long period of time. So during that, it was taking a long time. So during that time, we didn't had any WhatsApp or Instagist to send a text. So what we used to do, we used to take a like kind of some vehicle or some kind of transport medium, and we used to deliver the message to nearby military units that we are under attack, we need some backup. So it used to take a lot of time to communicate a message between two military units. So this was a major like disadvantage, or it was a major issue that United States of America was facing during a World War II. So what happened during that time is United States of America, US government, what it did is, US government started one project called as ARPANET. Okay, so what happened? United States of America, that is US government, started one project called as ARPANET. So ARPANET is the project that was initiated by US government, and ARPANET stands for Advanced Research Project Agency Network. Advanced Research Project Agency Network. The goal of this project was that we should establish the connectivity between these multiple military units. We should establish the connectivity between we should establish the connectivity between multiple military units. So what this US government did, they established one project called as ARPANET, and the goal of that ARPANET was to establish the connectivity between multiple military units. So what they did, they had a devices, and they had some devices with which they were communicating, but because of this huge distance between two military units, it was unable to communicate. So what US government did under ARPANET project is, they brought a cable, a very long cable, and they connected these two military units. Similarly, they connected these two, and what they did is, they started connecting multiple military units. So whenever enemy used to attack on this military unit, quickly they used to inform to the other military units that we are under attack, we need some backup. So as they are connected through cable, so it used to take seconds to send the message from one military unit to another military unit. The main goal of ARPANET was to connect the multiple locations so that we can efficiently send some information, some kind of enemy information we can send, some important government documents we can send. Okay, so what I'm trying to say here is, so the major goal of ARPANET was to connect the multiple locations. Okay, so and how they connected these multiple locations? By connecting these two different military units with the help of cable. Now the question here is, did they had this much long cable? Yes, they brought this much long cable and they connected these two different military units. It is like connecting Pune and Mumbai. Okay, so Pune and Mumbai, these are the two cities in India, Maharashtra. So if I want to establish the connectivity between Pune and Mumbai, so what I did is, I connected Mumbai and Pune using one cable. Similarly, in ARPANET project, they have connected multiple places using a long cable, a cable that is like 100 kilometers big. Okay, and this was for ARPANET project. Okay, this was for ARPANET project. So later on, what happened? Okay, later on, what happened? The World War II got over. Okay, World War II got ended, and there was no any requirement for this connectivity between multiple military units. So what US government decided is that as our requirement has been fulfilled of ARPANET project, now we are going to make this project publicly. So making this project publicly is nothing but that it started connecting with multiple different locations. जैसे कि for example, if you see within a United States of America, multiple different places started connecting with each other. So I took an example of military units, but initially there were 4 points that were connected with the help of cable. That is University of Utah, University of Los Angeles, University of Stanford, and I'm not sure of that. But these 4 places were connected with each other using a cable in United States of America. This was a goal of ARPANET. This was a goal of ARPANET, to connect the multiple locations in order to share some sensitive information. Later on, once the World War II got over, so there was no point in continuing this project. So what United States government decided, that we are going to use this connectivity between multiple location for a public use cases. So from here they started connecting some US government offices, they started connecting some colleges, some private organizations, and similarly what happened is multiple different locations started connecting with each other inside United States of America. Multiple different location started connecting with each other with the help of United States with the help of cables inside USA. So multiple different places got connected. So in a diagram you can see this is very small, but actually it's a map of USA. So if I'm drawing between these two, so it might be like 500 to 1000 kilometer. Okay, so you can correlate with that. But over a period of time, so multiple different locations started connecting with each other. Multiple different locations started connecting with each other. Okay, so everything started connecting with each other, and they started sharing the data, and that ARPANET project was evolved into this big network. So what I'm trying to say, so the project that was connecting 4 places is now connecting 40 places inside USA. Okay, and as the technology was getting evolved, multiple different locations also started connecting to that ARPANET project. So in entire United States, all the multiple locations were connected with each other with the help of cables. So the lines that I am drawing here are nothing but these are cables. These are nothing but these are the cables with which they are connecting the multiple stuff. Now if you want to see it theoretically, ARPANET in 1969, funded by US Department of Defense Advanced Research Project Agency, is widely regarded as a precursor of modern internet. So it's a successor of modern internet. It was created to connect computers at research institutes, enabling them to share the resources and communicate with each other. ARPANET was designed to be decentralized, allowing for a robust communication even in the event of network failure. Okay, so basically it was for connecting the multiple research institutes, okay, during World War II. But later on, what happened, as internet was getting evolved, okay, so we'll look what is the internet. But as technology was getting evolved in 1970s, 75s, 18, multiple different places started connecting with each other. So in this diagram, you can see that a network in United States. So here you can see a network that was started in United States. It got span across entire United States. Then other countries like Canada, okay, we had multiple different countries that are neighboring countries for United States also started connecting with each other. Then we are having Greenland, then we are having some countries from Russia, okay. So all the multiple countries started connecting with United States. So a network that was started with a 4 different location now has been span across entire world, has been span across entire world, has been span across entire world. So multiple nations got connected with each other by using that cable. So if you want to send a data from here to here, so you are sending a data from a cable. So entire world got connected with each other using these cables. A project that was started in United States is now span across entire world, and initially they kept this project name as a ARPANET, and later on they changed it to internet. So internet is nothing but it is a network. Internet is nothing but a network that is span across entire world. एक ऐसा नेटवर्क जो पूरी दुनिया में फैला हुआ है, a network that is span across entire world. So if you are sitting in India and you want to send some document to a friend who is sitting in United States, now that data is going to travel through cable. So can I say there is one cable from India to United States? Yes. So in actually there is one cable which is from India to USA. Okay, if I want to send the data from India to Pakistan, so yes, from India to Pakistan there is one cable. If I want to send the data from India to Australia, so India to Australia there is one cable. Now the question is, between India and Australia we are having ocean, okay, we are having sea, samudra hai, okay. So how you can put a cable in a sea? So they have put a cable in sea as well. So what I am trying to say, entire world works on these cables, and this internet, this is nothing but an internet. So if I want to send a data from India to Australia, then the data is going to travel from cable as well. So from India to Australia we are having one cable, and whenever you are going to send any kind of video, photo, text message, that text message is going to travel from that cable only. Okay, so when you open a WhatsApp and you send hi to your friend who is sitting in Australia, that hi message is going to travel through these cables, and there is a cable from India to Australia, and that cables, these kind of cables are called as submarine cables. So if you want to see, so on Google you can see submarine, okay, submarine cable map, and if you open this map, so you are going to get a map of entire world, that how we are all connected, okay, how we are all connected. So if you see here, if you come down to India, okay, if you come down to India and if you little bit zoom it, so all these colorful lines, these are nothing but cables. So actually there is a cable. If you click on this cable, okay, if you click on this cable, so this cable is around 11,000 kilometers, okay, and it is owned by Subco organization, okay, and it is going to connect multiple different locations, okay, it is going to connect multiple different locations, okay, Australia, then Oman, and multiple countries it is going to connect, okay. So yeah, you can see this is how our world is connected. So we don't have any concepts of satellite. So you might think that if you are sending a hi message, so that message will go to satellite and it will be delivered to the your friend, but no, we don't have satellites. Entire world is connected by using cables. So under the sea there are cables. So if you really want to see how these cables are going to look, so if you search for submarine cable, okay, and if you see the images related to these submarine cables, so you can see these are the kind of cables that are connecting multiple different countries, and this is what internet is connected. This is how internet is connected. So in this diagram you can see these are called as submarine cables. These are called as submarine cables, and all the data that you are sending, the video you are currently watching right now is also traveling through these submarine cables. So two nations are not connected through satellites, they are connected through these cables, they are connected through these cables. Okay, they are connected through these cables. So always keep in mind, internet is not a wireless. Okay, internet is not wireless, it's a wired. Okay, it's a wired communication, it's a wired communication. So always keep in mind, we are all connected through cables, we are not connected through any kind of satellites. So we don't have any kind of satellite stuff, so everything is wired. Okay, so yes, we are all connected through wires and cables. Internet is wired, it's not a wireless, but in future it may be a wireless. As you know, there is a project Starlink that is going on, where the internet is provided with the help of satellites, but that is not yet implemented right now as per my knowledge. But what I can see is, as of now, we are all connected through cables. So when you send a data to your friend who is sitting in USA, the data is traveled through cables, the data is traveled through cables. So from India to USA, we are having a cable with which you will be sending a data. Okay, so any day-to-day activity, like everything you do, like watching YouTube, texting your friend who is sitting abroad, all these things travels through the cables, and that cables are called as submarine cables. Okay, that cables are called as submarine cables. Okay, so as a human being, it is very much important to understand this kind of concepts. Even if you are a non-IT person, you should know these things, that how world is going to work. Okay, coming down to next stuff in the networking, multiple times you must have heard a term called as ISP. Multiple times you must have heard a term called as ISP. Okay, so let me explain you what is this ISP. So ISP stands for Internet Service Provider. ISP stands for Internet Service Provider. So what do you mean by ISP? ISP is nothing but someone who provides internet to you. Now currently I am using Airtel SIM. So Airtel is an organization that is providing me internet. So I am also having a Wi-Fi services that is provided by Jio. So Jio is the internet service provider for me. So a organization that is providing internet to you is nothing but internet service provider. Okay, now whenever you are going to discuss about ISPs, ISP, that is internet service provider, so there are three levels of internet service provider. So whenever you are going to discuss about ISP, we are having tier 1, okay, tier 2 and tier 3 kind of level 1, level 2 and level 3 ISPs. Okay, so tier 1 internet service providers are nothing but one who connects these countries, Now as we have discussed in submarine cable map, so who is the owner of this cable? Does government is going to own this kind of cables, or is there any private organization that is going to own this? So all these submarine cable maps are owned by, most of them are owned by private organization, like Google has its cables. Okay, Meta is also owning few of the cables. From India we are having Tata. So Tata is into this business of submarine cables. If you search it here, okay, if you search Tata here, so Tata is having multiple cables, almost 8 cables you can see. And if you open the Western Europe cable, so it will show a cable that is having a length of 3578, which is connecting like multiple landing points are like Portugal, Spain and UK. Okay, So yeah, multiple private organizations are going to own these kind of cables. So whenever you are going to discuss about internet service provider, there are three tiers of internet service provider: tier 1, tier 2 and tier 3. So tier 1 internet service provider are the internet service provider that connects multiple countries, multiple nations, like Tata. So Tata is responsible, or Tata is into a business that connects multiple countries, okay. This is called as tier 1 internet service provider. Regional level, they are going to work at regional level. Then we are having a tier 2 internet service provider. Now tier 2 internet service providers are going to work in within a nation, like to like manage the internet across multiple states. Like for example, Tata organization is going to connect these two countries, India and some X country, and within India, Jio is responsible to connect multiple states like Maharashtra, Delhi, Gujarat, Ahmedabad. Okay, multiple states. It can Rajasthan. It can connect. Okay, and within a city, we are having tier 3. So totally depends at what level that organization is working. So tier 1 is nothing but that they are going to work at regional level. Tier 2 are nothing but they are going to work at within a nation, connecting multiple state like Jio, Airtel. And we are having tier 3 internet service provider. It's a local internet provider that provides a internet connectivity in a local areas, like Mahalakshmi broadband services kind of stuff. Okay, so if you see what is a internet, this is internet. The diagram that you are going to look right now is nothing but a internet, a network that is span across entire world, and that network is called as internet. So sometimes you will say my internet is very slow. Your internet is very slow means the accessing this big network is like there is some kind of latency while accessing this big network. I am not getting a network means you are not accessible to this big network. When you are not going to do a recharge on your phone, so your internet service provider, okay, now you can see how I am using words. Whenever you are not going to recharge your phone, so your internet service provider is going to disconnect you from this big network. And if you are disconnected from this big network, how you are going to access YouTube, how you are going to access google.com, amazon.com, flipkart.com. So it is very much important that you should have a connectivity to this big network. If you are having a connectivity to this big network means you are having a internet access, and going on internet is nothing but going on this big network, accessing the servers. So within the countries they are connected to multiple like servers, and we are going to access or request the resources to these servers. Okay, so I hope it's clear to everyone. So what things we have discussed till now? Initially we started with a network. So what is a network? So always keep in mind, network is nothing but when two or more than two devices are interconnected with each other, then we are going to call it as a network. Second one is we discussed about internet. Internet is nothing but a very big network that is span across entire world. And if you want to see a technical definition, a network of networks is called as internet. After that, we discussed about ISP. ISP is nothing but ISP is going to stand for Internet Service Provider. Internet Service Provider is an organization that is responsible to provide a internet to you. Okay, like Jio is my ISP. Your ISP may be Vodafone kind of stuff. Okay, so till this, I hope it's clear to everyone. Okay, and make sure if you are really enjoying the session, you can comment down your thoughts. Okay, make sure to comment down, and make sure to subscribe this channel, as this is the first video. So in future as well I am going to create multiple 0 to hero series for cloud computing, some kind of AI stuff I am going to create, DevOps stuff also I am going to create. So for me, creation is like okay, currently I am a tutor, okay, I am a teacher, so teaching is a passion for me. So continuously I am going to bring a new series for you. So make sure to subscribe for upcoming series. And along with that, I'm also going to start a new series where you can prepare for cloud and DevOps interviews, what kind of important questions you need to prepare. So if you are someone who is looking to upskill yourself in cloud computing, DevOps, networking, Linux, so this is the best channel that you will get. Okay, but yeah, it's a big journey. So have some patience. We'll cover all this stuff. But till now, we have covered these three things, and I hope it's clear to everyone about what is a computer network, what is the internet, and what is a okay internet service provider. And if you see, we have just scratched the surface. Okay, we are not we are just looking the overview of how world works. But from now onwards, we are going to start actual networking, where we are going to take an example of a particular network. And what we are going to do is, we are going to understand how two devices are going to communicate with each other, what are the networking devices like hub, bridge, switch, router, and how addressing is going to work, whether it's a physical addressing or whether it's a logical addressing. So I hope it's clear to everyone about networking, internet, and ISP. Now let us start with the new topic, that is a network. Okay, that is a network. Now, whenever you are going to hear a term called as network, the first thing that comes to your mind is a network is nothing but when two or more than two devices are connected with each other. Now that devices may be anything. It may be a server, it may be a laptop, it may be a computer, it may be a mobile phone. It can be anything. I don't know. It totally depends on you. A network is nothing but when two or more than two devices are connected with each other. Okay. So at the right section, I'm going to draw one network. So I'm having a device is connected to B device. Can I call it is a network? So from my definition, I can say it's a network. Two devices are connected with each other, then it is a network. Okay, another example, I'm having a device that is connected to B device. B device is connected to C device, and A is also connected to C. So can I call it as a network? Yes, I can call it as a network, as two or more than two devices are connected with each other, then we can call it as a network. Similarly, can I call this as a network? Definitely I can call it as a network. Okay, so in this networking series, I am going to use certain terminologies, like whenever I am going to call it as a device, okay, I will be calling it as a host, or I will be calling it as a node. So when I refer to device, when I refer to a host, when I refer to a node, all these three things are same. Okay, so devices are nothing but electronic devices that are part of your network. So sometimes I will say in this network there are 4 devices, sometimes I will say in this network there are 4 hosts, and sometimes I will say in a particular network there are 4 nodes. So devices, host, and nodes are one and the same thing. Okay, so in the network that you are looking on the screen, what you are having right now is you are having a network, and in this network how many devices are there? 4 devices are there. How many hosts are there? 4 hosts. How many nodes are there? 4 nodes are there. So here I can see I am having this as a device 1, device 2, device 3, and device 4, and all of them are connected with one device called as networking device. Very important device, but we'll look into it in couple of minutes. Okay, so think of it like currently you're sitting inside your home. Okay, currently you're sitting inside your home, and I have given you task that X person is there who is sitting in a home, and I'm giving you a task that go and create a network. Okay, if I'm giving you a task to create a network at your home, what things you will need? So if I want to create a network, first thing I will need a devices. Okay, because a network is going to have a devices, so definitely what I will need? I will need a devices. Second thing, I will need cables, because if you want to connect the devices, definitely you will need cables, or if you are connecting through wireless, so certain wireless hardware components you are going to require that are part of the device. Okay, so if you want to create a network at your home, so go buy some devices, buy some 4 servers, 4 laptops, 4 computers, anything you want. Buy some cables so you can connect to them. So by having a devices and cable, you can create a network, but two more things are required. Okay, now think of it like you are having two computers. Okay, think of it like you are having two computers. So I'm having a computer A and it is connected to computer B. So these are two devices. This is a device number 1 and this is device number 2. How they are connected with each other using cable, and where this cable is connected? This cable is connected to your RJ45 port. It's a physical port, and this another end of the cable is connected to RJ45 physical port. So if you want to see RJ45 physical port, so RJ45 port, if you see and if you search for images, so within your computer you're going to see this kind of physical port, and you're going to see some kind of cables, okay, that are having two ends of RJ45 connector, with which you are going to connect these two devices. Okay, so so what you did here is you connected these two devices. Now think of it like after few days you are adding one more device. So you are adding one more device here. So yeah, so you added one more device here. So you added C device. So in order to connect to a C device to A, so I will need one more port. Okay, and I will attach this. So in order to connect C and B, I will need one more port and I will connect here. Now the problem with this kind of network is that I am restricted to the number of physical ports. I don't have that much number of ports to connect multiple devices. That is why if you want to connect more number of devices, when you want to connect multiple devices in a network, we need some kind of intermediary device that can help us to connect multiple devices. This intermediary device is called as networking device. This device is different and this device is different. The job of networking device is to connect multiple devices. Like 4 persons are there: person A, person B, person C and person D, and if they want to communicate, they are going to communicate with some fifth person kind of stuff. You can compare to this above diagram. So networking device is something that is helping us to connect multiple different devices. So whenever I am creating a network at home, definitely I will need certain devices, I will need certain cables, and along with that I will also need one networking device. And with the help of this networking device, I am going to connect multiple different networks. I am going to connect multiple different networks. I am going to connect multiple different networks. Now there is one more thing that is also important to create a network at your home. That is nothing but NIC. NIC stands for Network Interface Card. Simply it's a chip. Okay, it's a chip inside your machine with which you are going to become a part of network. It is a heart of network. If your device is not having, which device? This device. If your device is not having a NIC card, then you won't be able to connect to any network. Okay, so this NIC card or this NIC chip is already by default it is there inside your machines. So if you see NIC card image, and if you go to the images, so this is how you are going to look. This is the NIC card. It's a hardware component. It's a chip inside your machine, and with the help of chip you are able to connect to multiple networks. If your laptop or if your device is not having this kind of chip, then you won't be able to connect to any kind of network. It's a heart of network. It's a heart of network. Like every human is having a heart, and if human is having a heart, he is able to speak. Similarly, every device is having a NIC card, and because of this NIC card only, they are able to connect to other devices. If certain device is not having a NIC card, then you won't be able to connect to any network or will not be able to part of any network. So it's very much important that every device should have a NIC, and by default it has a NIC, but still explicitly I am mentioning. So if I am giving you a task at your home, you are sitting at your home, okay, so for example you are at your home and I told you to create a network of 4 hosts. So what you are going to do, you are going to have a 4 host, okay. Host means it can be a 4 mobiles, it can be a 4 laptops, it can be devices like servers kind of stuff. So I will need 4 devices: device A, device B, device C and device D, and all of them will connected with each other using networking device. All of them will be connected with each other using networking device, and this networking device is helping to connect all these devices. So these are cables, these are devices, this is a networking device, and every device will have a heart. That heart is nothing but it's a NIC card. Without NIC card, this device will not be able to become a part of this network. So अगर आप घर पे बैठे हो, if you are at home, you can create your own network. What you need to do? You need to bring 4 machines. That machines can be laptop, computers, servers. You need to bring some cables. You need one networking device. We'll later on discuss what is a networking device. You will also need one networking device, and along with that you will also need a NIC card in every device. By default every device comes with NIC, so but still explicitly I am mentioning. So these things we should keep in mind whenever we are going to create a network. So host, devices that connects to a network to access the resource and services like your desktops, laptops, smartphones and tablets. Mode of communication, if it's a wired communication, I will need a cables, okay, I will need a cables, okay. If it's a wireless, then I will need a wireless adapters, okay. NIC card I will need, it's a chip inside your machine, hardware component that allows computers to connect to a network, okay. It is integrated with your motherboard, okay, or it can be added as a separate card as well. You can add an external card for NIC as well. It's a heart of network. And fourth one is I will need a networking devices, okay. To connect multiple devices and a network, I will need a networking devices, and networking devices are also responsible for directing the data traffic between them. So we are having a router is one of the networking device, switch we are having, bridge we are having, and we are also having a hub, okay. So in the next day 2 of the series of this 0 to hero, what we are going to learn is we are going to understand the working of all the networking devices. So I will understand how hub is going to work, bridge is going to work, switch is going to work, router is going to work, and once we are done with that, then we are going to start with some topologies, okay, a fancy name for design, okay. But yeah, we'll discuss, as this is a first video on day 1. So we'll upload a video on every alternate day or 2 to 3 days, okay, and we'll complete this networking series like within a month, okay. So it will be a long journey, and this series is for someone who is looking for a computer networking course, or who is planning to kickstart their career as a cloud engineer or DevOps engineer. So every cloud and DevOps engineer should have understanding about networking. So you can consider it as a foundational or a prerequisite course. If you are from cyber security, if you are planning to go into a cyber security, so networking is very much important, because multiple times you are going to troubleshoot things at multiple layers of data transfer. You will be working with headers, packets, strings. So this is kind of course prerequisite for all the fields in IT. Even if you are from development team, you should have a good understanding about port numbers, how port numbers are going to work, working of OSI and all these things. So each and every topic is there inside this series. So it will be a long series, and every alternate day or 2 to 3 days I am going to upload a video. So make sure to subscribe, okay, for upcoming sessions, and hit the bell button as well, so you will get notified whenever I'm going to upload a new videos. And thank you guys, thank you everyone for watching this video. Let us meet on the next video. Thank you guys, have a good day. Keep learning, keep growing, and do subscribe to this YouTube channel. Thank you all.